thought, no, that's not who I am, get up, get it done. It's easier as a human to pass the blame because it feels better. So I've got an order on here, that, just finalising and launching our new client journey. These are the sort of people, mate, that literally suck dick for bus money. But I got absolutely sent on that position. What's happening, people? How are we doing? It's Monday. Just got back from a physio/sports massage session. Something I was having a long time ago when I had the groin pain. So I figured I'd try that route. And yeah, I've got very tight hamstrings, very tight glutes, very tight obliques. And there's another muscle in my abdomen that once my man got there and put some pressure on it, yeah, it hurt. So potentially that could be my pains, not sure, but obviously just exploring all routes. And it's good to do anyway, just to loosen up muscles, obviously going to the gym a lot, do a lot of steps, put a lot of tension on those areas. So yeah, just trying to, get in the best position, best health I possibly can be in, making sure I'm optimal. Just watching the charts, I'm long this morning on EU, daily wise, looking to maybe fill some of this fair value gap, and before we continue to see shorts. So on the 15 minute, we've had this nice clean sweep now, and I'm currently just waiting around for an entry. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to wait for a shift on this one. I'm going to wait to see if we shift this, break above this, come back in, get long, look to target some of this liquidity. We are sustaining bearish order flow at the moment. So again, mindful of that, but if it fits the edge, I'm going to get involved. Too much thinking, too much overcommitting on ifs, buts and maybes that often can lead to chaos. Like if it fits the system that you've got faith in, that you trust, that you've built your whole edge off, you kind of just got to back it. What I noticed this morning with the gym was literally, I walked in at 6 a.m. and this morning was one of those days, the first time this year where I've really not wanted to go at all. Like I didn't want to get out of bed. It's windy, it's raining, it's cold. I thought, I'll just stay in bed. And I thought, no, that's not who I am. Get up, get it done. But I got to the gym and walked in, and obviously I was expecting it to be very busy, and it was actually dead. There was like 10 people in there, considering there's been probably 50 in there the last few weeks. And it made me think, like, either everybody's fell off, the new year, new me, or obviously, they've changed their times up or whatever. But it's just fascinating to see how, like, the stats are still the stats, right? People say they're going to do something and they don't. They start with good intention, life gets in the way, something happens, and then boom. And look, life's always going to get in the way, always going to have things happen, but it's about persevering, finding a way to adapt, finding balance, and just getting that thing done. So if you are someone that's fell off, whether it's the gym, whether it's your goals, whether it's doing the steps, whether it's trading, whatever it might be, it's never too late to get back on. Don't let one day off or one bad period throw off the whole 3 weeks that you've been working on that new goal and grinding out that goal. It's completely normal to have that kind of resistance and barrier when you're forming new habits and doing these things. So keep going. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. The other problem I'm facing at the moment, and again, it's not their fault, but Traders Connect have had an issue over the weekend where MT5, unfortunately, have changed their code. So at the moment, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to execute on all my accounts. I've got about 8 accounts, including personals, and I need to try and find a way, if this trade sets up, I've got to get in all 8 without a copier. So it's going to be interesting. I think probably, to be honest, some accounts might get sacrificed. I just need to pick the accounts that I want to execute on. I've got some ready on the laptop. I've got some ready on my phone. I'll see what I can do, but I'm also conscious that this is out of my control and I just need to play it the best I can. So got in the trade, waited for the shift like I said, and then waited and played it back here basically. The annoying thing now, and it's annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it. But obviously I said previously that Traders Connect are having an issue, so I have to execute everything manually and I've got a lot of accounts. So if we go to MT5, don't know if you can see that, but FTMO didn't tag me. I've got a buy limit there, and it's clearly gone over the line, but not enough to tag. Very annoying, to be honest, because it's going to mess with the probabilities. However, my IC Markets accounts are in. Can't complain there. My Funded Engineer accounts are in. I'm just waiting for it to refresh for you. 1 second. It's frozen, which is never good. It's why I don't like doing everything manually, right? Like, so there it is. So there's Funded Engineer. I think you can see that. That's one of them. I've got another one here. So again, hopefully you can see that. A little bit frustrating, not going to lie, but again, something I can't really do anything about. I couldn't account for, Traders Connect having the issue. And again, it's not their fault. I want to reiterate that. It's just unfortunate that MT5 decided to change their entire code. I wouldn't normally use buy limits. I would usually just hit buy on one account and it would copy on all of them. But yeah, other than that, it probably sums up Monday now. I'm just going to go and get the kids from school. What's happening, people? How are we doing? It's Tuesday. It's afternoon now. So, been a busy day today. Also had to go and collect a little one from school. She wasn't feeling well, so had to go and get her. The kids come first. Being able to go and get them and not having to worry or leave work or anything. It's all good in the hood. I was long this morning on EU, but didn't let me in. And to be fair, it looks like I was wrong because it went down. So happy days. No trades taken. Update on yesterday actually was break even here. Obviously had this push, didn't quite clear the high. I'd gone BE because I was about 2 pips off from my TP that I wanted. And again, there was just no volume yesterday. It came back, took me out for BE. And again, protecting your capital is just as important than just being like, oh, I'm going to lose and I don't care. Something I've played with for a long time over these years, and I've always found that, you know, it's hard to decide, do I BE, do I not BE? But, you know, the more I've spoken to professionals that have been in the game for a lot longer than myself, that are managing a lot more money, you know, they all say BE is not a bad thing, provided you're not doing it just because you want to be BE, you know, to remove any kind of emotion or expectation from the trade and just be like, I've got risk off, I'm safe. Obviously, there has to be a logic to it. I have a logic to that. And the logic for me is if I'm 2 pips away from my target, you know, running like nearly 2%, I'm not going to take an L. It would just be silly. So, yeah, I went BE. Happy days, took the BE. That was all good. So, yeah, that basically wraps up Tuesday. I'm going to go make a sausage and potato pie and chill out and play some Call of Duty. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? It's Wednesday. I'm on my way to grab a coffee and some brunch with a friend. Looking forward to that. Breaks the day up a little bit. London session this morning. EU just ran away from me. So, yeah, not ideal, but it is what it is. Again, not a lot I can do. I'll be back for New York, so we'll see if I can get anything from there. And, yeah, what will be will be. I know a few people are struggling with January. January can be a tough month. Currently sat at 4%. Took 7 trades, I think. 3 wins, 3 L's, and a break even. Should be sat slightly higher, but comms and whatnot, it is what it is. And talking about comms and stuff is something I want to just briefly touch on. It's not me ranting or anything, but I see a lot more people nowadays on socials moaning about commission, slippage, prop firms don't like them, prop firms hate them, they planned it. Listen, prop firms aren't like, oi Dave, guess what mate? And he's like, what? They're like, that Alb? Yeah, he just got in EU longs. Alright, should we slip him? Yeah, let's do him. They're not doing that. Just like some of you that think John at HSB sat behind a desk and his job is to hunt your stop loss and play search and destroy with it. It isn't. Like, it isn't a thing. You just took an L. Slippage, commission, spread, it's part of trading. Anyone that's new in the game, you know, if you've only been in it for a couple of years, you may not have traded personal capital. I've been trading a long time now. Personal capital, you might remember the days of like BD, Swiss, Ava Trade. Some of these brokers were horrendous. You'd get in EU and you'd instantly have like a 4 pip spread added on. It was horrible. You know, that felt like manipulation, and even that essentially wasn't. It's just their conditions. And this is what I'm trying to get across. If a broker has bad conditions or conditions you don't like, you wouldn't use them essentially, right? We all look for personal brokers that are the best, raw spreads, decent commissions. I use IC Markets, right? I get a great spread, especially with EU, it's pretty much 0, but I pay for it in commission. I pay $7 a lot. When the lot sizes get bigger, that's a lot. So when I forecast, oh, I should lose this much, you need to factor in commission. You need to factor in that slight bit of spread. And of course, depending on the size of your stop and how you're taken out, that matters too. Because if you're taken out of a slow candle that's just moving up or down slowly, then yeah, cool, it might not be as much. But if you're taken by an aggressive run on liquidity or a news event, of course it's going to be more. Just because you've got a stop loss does not mean that's exactly how much you're going to lose and where you're going to get taken out. If you're expecting perfection, it doesn't exist. And again, trading carries uncertainty. We're always looking for this kind of like absolute, and it doesn't exist, right? It just doesn't exist. So again, I just want to share, like, yes, some prop firms have better brokers than others. Hopefully some of the bigger brokers will make their way into the prop firm space. Who knows? And if they do, I'm sure prop firms will look to adopt them. Until then, we have to kind of work with what we've got, or if we don't, then don't, you know? Like, for me, FTMO, True Forex Funds, the ones I've used, are the best for spread. I haven't checked out, there's a couple of other props I want to try out soon. Obviously, I've used others like Think Markets, Purple Trading. Look, they're not the best, but they're manageable. Do you know what I mean? You just have to account for the odd spread, the odd bit of slip. It's not them intentionally doing it. This is what you have to get out your head. It's easy as a human to pass the blame because it feels better and it makes you feel better than to just accept responsibility and accept the way that that's just the way that it is. There's not a lot you can do about it. It's also not that deep. Trading doesn't carry many business expenses. That is the cost of doing business for us traders. There are other businesses that have massive overheads. We don't really. You have a TradingView subscription, buying a prop firm challenge, which you can get your money back when you pass, maybe your computer, setup, desk, internet, stuff like that, but it's not crazy, right? So just wanted to share that because I'm seeing it float about a lot more, and it just feels like people are trying to target props. They have this agenda with props. And look, I'm all for it. If a prop is shit, then fair play, let people know, but do it in the right way. Thursday, and I'm currently just waiting to see if EU is going to tag me in. So I've got an order on here. I'm bullish overall, still bullish. Was bullish yesterday, obviously didn't get tagged into any trades. Still looking for longs as it stands. Obviously we have more or less filled this imbalance now, so we could see shorts off of that. Quite weak, to be honest, this week. I know a lot of people, I've seen quite, well, I say a lot, I've seen a fair few people moaning about January, saying it's been tough. Personally, I think it's been a good month. Obviously, up around 4%, should be up a little bit more. There was a trade the other day that I didn't take anything off of that I should have. So it probably would have put me to about 5%. Obviously, still got today, tomorrow, and a couple of days next week to see what we finish on. But I think all round it's been a really good start to the year. Obviously, again, edge dependent. It depends on how you trade, of course. That's a massive factor. If there hasn't been anything, look, it's okay to just sit on your hands and chill out. By the end of March, you're going to have 100k or 500k or $1 million in funding. All depends on your lifestyle and what you can afford. But you're going to have one of them, right? You're going to lock them in if you just follow this process and you just do this thing repeatedly. You show up every day, you journal, you forecast, you're locked in, you're in a flow zone, whatever it is. If you just focus on hitting the edge when it presents itself, not worrying about doing anything stupid, follow your rules. By the end of March, so the end of Q1, you'll have that capital and you'll have the ability to make 80% of all profits made, withdraw them to your account and reinvest them or stick them into your personal account or whatever it is. You'd probably wait, right? Like 1,000,000% you'd wait. Obviously there's no guarantees or absolutes, but the way I see it is if you're on a challenge phase, for example, or you're in drawdown, yes, you've got to make 8% or 5% or 10% or 5% or whatever it is. And if you're in drawdown, that might seem like a longer task to do. And a lot of you asked me last week, how did I deal with the drawdown that I was in, that I shared last week? If you've not watched last week's video at the end, definitely the end of it, go and check it out, because I share me being in like 9.5% drawdown and coming back from it and not doing one of these punts and just sending it. It took me around 2 months to do it. I pretty much lowered my risk to half, and I just made sure that when I was turning up to the charts, I wasn't having anything impact me that had happened in the day or any external pressures or factors that were making me take poor trades. Some of the trades I'd taken in that were 100% emotional. They were just crap. I was just trying to rush to get funding back. I was emotional from losing funding. I wanted to make money, and they're a recipe for disaster. So obviously I identified all that sort of stuff, made sure that wasn't, governing me. I made sure when I came to the chart, I was locked in and focused on just the process. I took the outcome out of the equation. I didn't sit there every day watching drawdown going, oh, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. I just put it on a copier and I just said to myself, what will be, will be. I'm going to trade and we'll see where we're at. And I came out of drawdown. Just lock in and focus on your edge and see where you're at. And again, process. The way I see these challenges, I've got 700k at the moment running. I don't want to just rush them because, again, if we put it into this context, right, I've got 700k running in challenges and I'm up 4% for the month. As it stands, I'd be up $28,000 for the month. Yes, you've got to take out the splits, but even if I walked away with 20 bags for a month, it's decent, yeah? It's good enough. That's on 700k in funding with just 4%. The capital that you have is obviously what will allow you to make more money. So let's say you get $1 million, you're up 4%, it's 40 grand before split. This is what I'm on about thinking long-term, thinking bigger picture. Everyone's trying to bash props or say they're not good, but they also give you the ability to do that. Provided you can trade logically, you can think critically, you don't have a stupid edge, you have an edge that you can repeat, and that doesn't, gamify the system too much, you'll get paid out. So there's plenty of prop firms to utilise. You could have a couple of million this year. I don't think you need more than $1 million personally, but you could go and get 2, 3, 4 million, whatever, and you could absolutely change your entire life this year. But it's whether you're willing to do that and take the time. And a lot of delayed gratification and a lot of this stuff, it's kind of like not glamorized. No one wants to wait anymore. Everyone wants it like now. It's like when we order food, we want it now. But there used to be a day and age where when we ordered food, you had to call up and then go and wait an hour and a half and pick it up and walk home or drive home. There wasn't this kind of like tracking it on your phone. Why are they doing this? Where are they? Same when you order an Uber, you used to just call a taxi and be like, hey, can you pick me up? And they'd turn up when they turned up. Now you can just watch the car come in. Like, things have advanced, which has made us kind of always wanting stuff. We have this expectation, we create these expectations, but that if not met, we then get the hump. But the reality of it is like you shouldn't be coming into trading with an expectation anyway. Come into it and go, this is my process. I urge everyone in it, like if you're in a position where you're not making money, but you have an edge and it works, you know it works because you've tested it, you've got all the data on it, go live and just for the next, we've got 2 months coming up, right? Feb and March. Just for the next 2 months, hit everything that fits that system. Don't get involved. Don't think you know better. Don't overhold trades or send them to the freaking space all the time. That was a big problem for me, was always getting in trades and saying this has to be the trade that passes or this has to be the trade that does this, only for it to run 3, 4, 5% and pull back, take me out for BE. That hurts more than a loss, in my opinion, because I've seen the money run in. Yes, expectation again. However, I've made money, so you could argue we've made it, but you failed as a trader to take it. So all these little things, they're all just lessons for us to learn from. That's all it ever is. It's a lesson. Everybody will see things slightly different. Everybody will trade different in some degree. The main thing is, are you making money consistently? If you're not, then you need to ask yourself, what are you doing so wrong? And is it something that major? It could be that you just TP too late and you always want that big hit. It could be you TP slightly too early and you're not capitalizing on your edge. It could be that you see your edge set up, but you talk yourself out of it because you think you know better. Or it could be you're basing it on a previous trade and you think, oh, this last time I hit this didn't work, so it ain't going to work. We are playing probabilities. We are playing essentially a game of gambling, but calculated with an edge, with risk, with understanding of what we're doing. And we're just letting the market do its thing. So honestly, I urge all of you, just try that for 2 months and I guarantee you'll be in a better position. But yeah, it looks like EU's running away without me. Won't probably come back and tag me in now. I'll leave the order on for a little bit, but once the stop starts to get bigger and bigger, I just won't bother with it. I'll leave it. But again, no expectation. I could easily have stood here and be like, well, I've been here for an hour, I've done my forecast, I've done all my routines, I've planned the trade, it's ticked all my lists apart from the entry. Oh, God, it hasn't tagged me in, it hates me, it's fucking hell, it's the edge. And then I could go online and see someone did manage to get in it, and I'm like, oh, maybe they know something I don't. And then the loop starts. Trust me, I've been there. I'm speaking of experience. Everything I share is genuine experience, lessons learned, and some heartache, man. I'm not playing games. I'm genuinely being raw, real, honest. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? It's Friday. Just finished the gym. Sick leg session. I've also just finished my 4-week strength program, so now I need to check in and switch it up. Feeling really good. Not going too crazy with weight still. Obviously still carrying a couple of niggles. Working on this like abdomen pain still. So feeling really good overall. I'm just trying to do more volume. If I found in the past when I used to lift pretty heavy on chest especially, I ended up not using the chest and using more shoulders and back, and I ended up putting too much strain on things. At my size at the time, trying to lift like 37.5 kilo dumbbells is just a bit silly. Bit of ego lifting, and it's never helped anyone. I want to make sure I can stay in the game for a long time, not get injured, and then be back to square one. Go home, have a shower, grab some food, forecast this morning, and see what the rest of the week brings. Obviously, very quiet week again. But again, it's the realities of trading, you know, and anyone telling you otherwise can suck a massive horse dick, because there's a lot of people at the moment I'm seeing that are struggling in January, and look, that happens, it's normal. But there's also a lot of people trying to give it the big gun and using it as an opportunity to be like, I'm better than you, I've got secret sauce, you should follow me, or you should buy my shit, or whatever. And it's just like piss off, man. Like, everybody trades a certain way. There was never this kind of like, I don't even know what it is, but like there's like this weird thing where like if you trade a certain way, you're like outcast, or you're not cool, or you shouldn't be this. At the end of the day, do you make money? That's what matters. I've always said it and always will. I respect anybody that trades, I respect anybody that's honest and consistent, and I respect anyone that's found consistency, because it's not easy to do, it's difficult. And if you've managed to persevere and get to that point, then big ups to yourself. Obviously, we had someone on the video last week who was saying that, you know, because I haven't traded in a week, I'm shit. These are the sort of people, mate, that literally suck dick for bus money or put quavers up their bum. Like, they're not going to get anywhere long term. They might have had a little bit of success. He might be killing it. He might be smashing it. But all I'll ever say is nobody, and I mean nobody, that is doing better than you has ever got time to throw shade or hate towards anyone. You may get characters with big egos and inflated egos, but they still won't throw shade directly at you, purely because they haven't got time. Because if you're killing it and you're smashing it, you know how hard it is to get there, so you'll just focus on you. And if people around you are doing well, big ups to them, innit? But it's got to be about focusing on yourself. Don't let people put images in your head that are incorrect, because yeah, it's just dead and it's a shame to see. And obviously a lot of people are getting misled and yeah, getting burned. I was just trading in London with the big man. He's gone to sleep now. But he was giving me the dagger eyes because he wanted to go out. I'll take him out in a minute. I literally just had EU shorts set up, so I had to wait. was getting ready to go out. It was quite a quiet morning, but then yeah, we had the pullback and we took out the level I wanted to see go. So yeah, jumped in here. If we look at the 15M, we've pulled this, obviously broken the lows here, taken this out. Obviously there is a bit of liquidity here. It may want that slightly little bit higher, but again, I'm not playing ifs, buts, maybes. I'm just playing what I see. So if I take an L here, I take an L. It is what it is. I'm in profit. I'm up for the month. So again, it's not like a high risk trade, but you know, you just got to be cautious if you're taking average trades and drawdown. You have to be mindful of that. For me, this is a bread and butter setup, so it's all good. I'm very aware it could go higher. It is also Friday. We might see that pullback, but yeah, entered on the 5 minute. So obviously we broke above here. This candle was slightly bigger than I would have liked to enter on. Didn't really get any kind of shift. Obviously shifts like down here. So that's what I'm not loving about it in terms of like, if we're talking A+, I would have liked to see some form of structure go, because we could easily do this, leave that structure low, take that, and then we could go. So mindful of that. Obviously we came back pretty aggressive this morning. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Looking to sort of come into this imbalance, see what happens when we get here. Probably get risk off around there. We might trickle back up. We could go lower. I'd like to see this low go personally, but yeah, we're in the trade, so we'll see what happens. I'll keep you all posted. Probably gonna go out now, take the big man out for a little walk and get some steps in. Sun's out today, it's nice, feels like summer's getting closer, and the sun completely changes everything, makes everything better. But there's no point me sitting here watching it. It never does anything for me. And you know, watching your trades doesn't mean it's gonna hit TP, just like watching it doesn't mean it's gonna lose. Best thing you can do is do something else. You know, I'm not in control now. I've entered the market. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work. If it's not, it's not. And whether I'm here or not, it doesn't matter. But I got absolutely sent on that position. So yeah, I wasn't in it for very long. Pretty much in and out, which to be fair, I much prefer. Yeah, literally got tagged straight in and basically tagged straight out. Put in the trade for about 10 minutes. So yeah, so as I said earlier, could come for this now. Very aware of that when I took the trade. But at the same time, I was more than happy to take it because a hell of a lot of those work. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. It is what it is. It's part of trading. It's how it goes. And we just need to move. Like, that is it. You know, I've waited all week. I took a B at the start of the week and I took an L. Been correcting my bias most days by yesterday. And I didn't make any money. And that's trading 101. That is the realities, and that is just how it is. And I will continue to share and spread that, because anybody that thinks otherwise is wrong. You'll have months where everything you hit is on fire and you'll get giddy and you'll be like, oh my God, and you'll probably clean up, but you also have to be able to deal with it when it's the other way and not go in and, you know, hit that again. Someone also asked me, why do I have my hood up a lot at the moment? Purely because don't have much hair at the back, skin fade obviously, and it's quite chilly and I feel pretty warm in my hoodie, but then my head feels cold, so putting my hood up prevents that. It's quite comfortable, I enjoy it, it's got nothing to do with thinking I'm a roadman, so yeah, there's the explanation on that one. I'm glad you needed to ask. I'll keep you posted if anything comes in New York. I allow myself 2 hours a day between the 2 sessions. So if I take an hour in London, that's usually it done. And then I will allow myself a trade in New York. So we'll see what happens. Still up 3% for the month. Not going to sweat about it. Not going to worry about it. Got 3 days next week. And then we go into Feb. Just want to say big ups for watching. Appreciate you all as always. And yeah, I'll catch you next week. Peace and love, gang.